Okay, so this tutorial will be about like texturing that reflective texture onto your models and adding color, of course, and reflectivity. So let's go ahead and go into Blender. So this is my setup. Basically, I have this setup to show the reflections and what's behind it and stuff, so you can actually really see that it is reflecting. So you go into the materials, that little circle there, and go into color, and you can just change that little color palette um, to whatever color. I'm just going to leave it at white for now. So just scroll down to that little thing called mirrors, and just click that check box next to the word mirror, and then turn that up to about halfway, to around halfway, and then if you look at the preview there, it looks reflective. So, yeah. And so now you can just go ahead and render that, and it looks reflective. So, yeah, that's how to. So, that's adding the basic reflection to the sphere. So then this amount is when you turn it down, it gets kind of blurry or imperfect, the reflection. So, but it does it very fast, so you want to keep it minimal. If you do it too much, then it loses most of the reflection. But now, as you can see, it's a little bit blurry, so the reflection isn't perfect. So now you can just change that color palette there, which will basically change the color of your reflection with on it. So when you render it, so if you want to make something kind of gold-ish, you can do that kind of yellowy orange color that I just chose there. And then when you go ahead and render it, it's like a yellowy orange reflective color. So now you can just, I'm going to X off mirrors, and then I'm going to hit that little arrow to close it. And then now we're going to talk about transparency. So you just click that box on transparency, and then start turning that down, which in the there shows it's starting to get transparent. And then when you render it by clicking render image, it shows it transparent. And so you can turn that down or turn it up depending on how transparent you want it to be. Now it's really transparent, you can barely see it. But that doesn't look too good in my opinion, so you can just turn that back up. So then you go to Ray Trace, which gives you a bunch of more options. And so a really important one is this option which kind of distorts the image behind whatever see-through thing is there. So kind of starting to distort it and push it outwards. So when, depending on how you move it, if you move it up, it just distort what's behind it. So now if you render it, render the image. It's but you can't really tell that it's distorted because there's just that behind it. So I'm gonna put it in front of the cube. And so now that it's in front of the cube will be distorted when I render that. So now when I go ahead and render that, the cube is distorted behind my sphere. So yeah, you can see that the green cube is like bent or distorted behind the